When you say classroom phone bans, families say stuff like this.
Kind of hating on it. They need to be able to contact their parents. We don't do anything in the last 20 minutes and the teachers just go on their phones and start typing away.
Schools are forcing kids to store their phones in bags all day. It was clear. Our newsroom had to dig in.
For Cincinnati public schools, students will have their phones locked in a Yondr pouch during school hours. This is also the case in the Northwest School District. Leaders in other districts have decided to ban cell phones altogether. We asked on Facebook, should cell phones be allowed in school? One parent says yes, we want to know if our children are safe. Another person says no, phones are a distraction as well as a temptation to cheat or cause trouble. CPS Interim Superintendent Shauna Murphy says she understands the concerns, but is confident the policy will be embraced.
The piece that sold me most on it was the response from the kids who actually experienced the Yondr pouches. You will hear kids say that they had a much better day, that there was much less stress.
In the Cincinnati area alone, several schools implemented new policies to keep cell phones out of kids' hands and out of the classroom.
At Lebanon High School, their eyes will be noticeably up as opposed to down. With few exceptions, cell phones will be turned off from the time they get to school to the time they leave.
The Lebanon School District has implemented a no cell phone policy in high school with the exception of lunch break. The change comes after a pilot project last school year at the junior high school, where the cell phone ban resulted in more engagement between students and teachers, students, and fewer behavioral issues. As you might expect, reaction to the new policy is mixed.
I feel like there are going to be many upset kids and possibly teachers, because the teachers, they have to admit, they have been on their phones. Most of my classes, we don't do anything in the last 20 minutes and the teachers just go on their phones and start typing away.
Everything is all social media and things like that, and I just don't think that that's where phones should be, is at a school.
So after posting lots of stories, hearing back from tons of parents and from schools, our newsroom knew we weren't done yet. So our education reporter, Chelsea, really started making calls, sending emails, trying to figure out what's next.
Each Cincinnati public high school will have its own plan on how to handle those Yondr bags. Here at Woodward High School, the second students walk in the door, they will have to lock their phones into one of those bags. They won't be able to unlock them until the end of the school day. Cincinnati Public purchased 16,000 of those Yondr bags for $500,000.
So just follow this today.
The principal here at Woodward says they've noticed students are distracted and it's impacting their academics. He's hoping this helps those scores by the end of the school year. Some parents are all for it, others worry about safety.
Love the idea because I think the phones are an distraction for the kids and it do cause a lot of problems, so that will be a great thing.
Students here at Woodward will start using those bags after Labor Day. Every 7th through 12th grade CPS high school will start using those at some point this school year.
All right, this is where we hit pause and we find out, what do these pouches look like and how do they work?
Students at Northwest and Colerain high schools lock their phones in these Yondr pouches each morning in their first bell. They press this button, their phone is locked in here for the rest of the school day. As they're exiting at the end of the day, they stop by one of these unlocking stations where they can get their phone out.
I don't mind the experience. I know a lot of people at the beginning were kind of hating on it, but I actually enjoy it. It's made my school year feel a lot more peaceful so far.
Northwest District leaders say each pouch cost just under $25. They bought 2,900 bags, one for each high school student, and some extra. That means the district spent about $72,000 on those pouches, using federal Title IV funds. Colerain High School Principal Erin Davis says they understand parent concerns about safety. She says they've practiced unlocking phones quickly after a threat is over. She says they can do it in 15 minutes or less.
We do understand that connecting with your family right after a situation like that is important. So we have already conducted a drill and practiced unlocking and timed it even to practice unlocking what that would look like once everything is clear and safe, so that people then can reach out to their family to notify them that they're okay and that this is the situation and kind of proceed from there.
Davis says each student is responsible for their own pouch. They'll have to keep it in good shape because they're expected to use it year after year.
Started to get real for a lot of the parents when they realized it was going to be a lot tougher to get in touch with their kids during the school day. and vice versa.
I guess I'm just more accustomed to having access to my son, and I don't know, if something happens to him, I want him to be able to get in touch with me.
Mixed feelings from Cincinnati public school parents who won't be able to text or call their high schoolers directly during the school day. It's the district's new initiative to limit distractions.
And I think once they go out into the real world, it's going to be there, so there's no better time to train them than now.
Big blue all day.
Tamika Robertson's son goes to Woodward High School. After Labor Day, he'll be required to lock his phone in one of these Yondr pouches at school.
The students can take their cell phones out.
We totally understand that a parent will want to reach their kid in an actual emergency, and if that is the case, we would love for the parents to call the school office.
CPS purchased 16,000 pouches for $500,000.
What are you guys thinking you're going to learn this year in patient care tech?
District leaders hope it changes academic outcomes for students.
I'm excited about the process and looking for grades to go up, kids graduating on time. I'm looking for that. I'm excited about that.
The district says cutting off phone access is a cultural shift that will take time to implement.
Teenagers, it's real hard to get cell phones out their hands because they think it's their world. They think they'll die without it.
And after the story seemed like it was settling down and everyone was getting used to the new pouches, national events started another conversation.
Students at Appalachia High School have similar stories. They heard gunshots and then they pulled out their phones to text their loved ones.
I texted my mom first and then a couple of my friends to see if they're okay.
It's causing concern to some local parents who are afraid they would not be able to reach their child in this kind of situation. Here at Cincinnati Public Schools, students in 7th through 12th grade have to lock their phones in a pouch each morning. A magnet unlocks the pouch at the end of the school day. It's meant to limit distractions in the classroom, but Cincinnati public parent Sherry Moore says her son shouldn't have to lock up his phone.
I feel they need to be able to contact their parents as quick as possible, especially if it's a school shooting or anything, just to let us know, keep us at ease.
CPS Interim Superintendent Shauna Murphy wasn't available for an interview on Thursday, but at the very beginning of the school year, she said if it was a true emergency, school staff would be able to unlock those pouches so students could access their phones. How long that could take isn't clear. I also talked to a school safety expert who believes that students are actually safer without their phones because with them, they're less likely to listen to school leaders in an emergency.
It's not an easy situation. It's not a black and white. There are legitimate arguments on each side. There's certainly the emotional connection for parents wanting that emotional security blanket, that connection to their kids. As a parent, I understand that. I also understand the flip side of that coin as a safety professional that can cause and has caused some significant problems in response and safety concerns during an actual incident.
It started to feel like every single day we heard about another school district adding these pouches in their own policies. Thanks for watching this video. If you're interested in more of this content, make sure you click subscribe and look at the rest of our channel, or go to local12.com to see what the rest of the team is working on.